Just wanted to introduce this new journal. It's called Digital Psychiatry and Neuroscience. Um, it's a journal that's affiliated with the American College of Neuropsychopharmacology. Um, it's not affiliated with TIPS officially, but it's kind of an unofficial. We have an unofficial affiliation with TIPS. And everything I've heard, every talk I've heard over the past 2 days would fit really nicely as a paper within digital psychiatry and neuroscience. The scope and the goals of the journal, we want to facilitate alignment between psychiatry and neuroscience, as the name would imply. We focus on translationally relevant endpoints. We're especially interested in endpoints that in animals can be derived from devices in humans. And what I mean are things like sleep architecture, breathing, heart rate variability, body temperature, um, movement, gait, all of these endpoints that come from our devices. We can study those in rodents. They're translationally relevant, so we're interested in those types of endpoints. We're interested in measurements that reflect continuous data, so we want to evolve from taking photographs, a test that we do in a rodent or in a person for a minute, and start thinking about doing measurements over time. So hours or days or weeks, months, years. That's what I mean by continuous data. We want things to be objective and reproducible, and also conducive to analysis by sophisticated analytic programs, including like machine learning and AI. We have some special features and article types, one of which are these primers, as we call them. And these are types of articles. They're usually 1 page or 2 pages, and they're designed to teach a psychiatry concept, a single psychiatry concept to neuroscientists, or a single neuroscience concept to clinicians, people doing work in humans. So we want to keep these short and to the point, but it's part of our main mission of basically everybody having a better understanding of what the other people are doing, and then again aligning psychiatry and neuroscience. So this is what the editorial team looks like. We're still a small family operation. I'm the principal editor. What I bring to this story is more than 20 years of editorial experience and knowing how to run journals. But all of the other editors are really thought leaders in these domains, including our own Justin Baker, who is an organizer of TIPS, and we heard him earlier today. And I'll also point out John Torres, who is one of the people who coined the term digital phenotyping, together with his colleague, JP Onella. So there's a lot of expertise here, but we're still a small group of editors. These are just some examples of some papers we've published recently. You'll see that we're publishing original articles, we publish reviews, we publish methodology papers, we publish perspectives or opinion pieces. So we really have a broad range of article types, including those primers, those 1 or 2 page, really short papers. We've got a couple of special programs that we consider to be incentives to submit to our journal. One of them is a new investigator waiver award. So this is an open access journal. So there is an article processing charge. We can waive this for people under this program who are new investigators and just starting to get their labs up and running. We're also doing something, a podcast that we call the DPN Deep Dive. So these are artificial intelligence generated podcasts, 6 minutes long. And as it says right here, they're really ideal for you to kind of learn something new while you're on the treadmill, out on a run, or driving into work in the morning. So you can make that time productive as well if you wish. One of the things that we feel like is really unique about this is we're trying to do this on every single paper we publish. So if you publish a paper in our journal, especially an original article, you will have AI podcast on your paper that will appear on the article on the journal website. Of course, we do this with your permission. We use Notebook LM to generate the podcast. These podcasts are dazzling how well they come out, at least in my opinion. And we would never put this online without the author approving and making sure that the podcast is accurate and complete. But it is a special feature. I don't think any other journal that I know of is doing this type of thing, making a podcast for every single paper that they publish. So again, just to summarize, open access online only journal. Current article processing charge is $2,190. So this is a bargain compared to many of our peer journals. It's because we're new, but we want to make it affordable, and we are sensitive to the costs of publishing papers, especially for people running new labs. If you have questions, you can contact me, and my email address is there, or Justin. If you had specific questions about these new investigator waivers, you could contact Sophia Hupalo, who is in charge of those. And if you have general questions about the journal itself or problems submitting, you would contact Lori Kunoth, who goes by the handle DPN Journal. The final thing I wanted to say is we're open to new ideas. In fact, this article type, the primer article type, was suggested to us by a reader, a journal user, and we've implemented it, and it's worked out wonderful so far. So thank you for your time, and again, thank you, Rachel and TIPS organizers, for the opportunity to present this today.